Alrighty, shalom and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, we're broadcasting to all of our various platforms, our social media platforms, as well as the Ani Judaism YouTube page, and of course, the Guitar Rabbi YouTube page, because all of these things are very tied in. And also, we are sending this to our Rumble page as well. And I got a very exciting project that I had been working on for the past couple of months, and I've really started hitting the ground running with this project the past couple of weeks, as a matter of fact. And some of you have heard me talk about this on True Social and some other places, but many of you have no clue about this new project and what it is. And so let me explain to you what the Audio Siddur project is. Okay? Simply put, years ago, when the synagogue was open, I would always end up being the rabbi in the area that would have people come to me and say, this rabbi said that my son or my daughter cannot have their bat mitzvah. They have some sort of learning disability, whether it be autism or Down syndrome or something like that. And they're having a hard time learning their Haftarah. And several rabbis had said there's just no way that they can do it. There's no way that they can recite their Haftarah and all this stuff. And, one of the things I had realized, having Asperger's syndrome myself, is that these kids are definitely not less. They just think differently. They just think differently. So you have to get into their head in a way to find out where it is they focus on, where it is that their nishmat chaim, their divine spark is, and the kind of things that they gravitate towards to help them to learn their Haftarah. And so, with the vast majority of them, I realized that they were big into music. And so I would find apps on my phone, such as the small, I think it's small rap or something like that. And it would like take any sort of speech that you have and turn it into a rap song and things like that. Don't worry, I'm not doing that with the Audio Siddur. I'm giving a story here. But, I would go and do that. And I'd tell the parents, go and put this on the child's iPod. The iPods were big at the time. Go and put them on the iPod and all that stuff. Have them listen to it. And every single time, these kids were able to do their Haftarah perfectly. When all these other rabbis said there's no way that they would be able to do it. And so, with that, the thing I started to realize from many individuals that would come to Melech Mashiach is they would, I don't think I have my Siddur here with me, but, if I had my Siddur out, they'd be sitting over there going, just kind of doing their best to pretend to know the prayers during Shachris and Minka and all that stuff. And they felt very, very out of place. They felt very out of place. And so I was thinking to myself, is there a one-stop resource for people to learn these things, who don't know Hebrew, don't know Aramaic, don't know the biblical languages? And so what we ended up doing is we started the Hebrew and Aramaic Learning Institute. We started that to help people to learn Hebrew and Aramaic. And, and that's been very helpful for quite a few people, but many people don't want to go through that kind of work. The fact is that, a lot of the times, we all have things going on in our own lives. You take, for instance, me. I'm working all hours of the day, and then when I come home, I'm doing work at home, doing things like this, doing my studying, teaching an ordination class, and all this stuff, which is thankfully wrapping up in September. That has been going on for quite a while, and it's a stressful thing week after week, I got to admit. But I said to myself, considering that now, 2 years ago, I started playing the guitar again. I said, what if I went and I did something and put it to music? Just a basic guitar track in the background. And, had it to where it is they could access it on Apple Music and Spotify and any other streaming service that they use, such as Tidal or what have you. And I was able to run across this thing called DistroKid. And DistroKid is something that I've been using for the past year to put out my own music. And DistroKid has been very helpful in going and doing that. It makes it so easy because I'm not a genius on these things. I just go and put in the information. I put in the file. I put in the artwork, and it says, okay, we're going to go and send this out to all of these places. So that worked out perfectly. And so what I decided many months ago is I said, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a guitar track. And I ended up buying the acoustic one over there, the Harley Benton ST acoustic, and I really like that guitar. But I haven't been using that guitar on this project, which is the reason why I ended up getting that. Really funny. I've actually been using the 335 that's behind me, the blue one right over here. I've actually been using that and using my Zoom G11 with an acoustic simulation patch. And it sounds really good and really bright and all that stuff. My playing is not the greatest, but this is something easy for me to do. And so what I've been doing is I've been going and laying down the tracks, and they only have to be like a minute, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, for some of the longer prayers, it might have to be 2.5 minutes and all that stuff. And then what I do is I go and I recite the prayer slowly. Like, for instance, if I was doing the Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod, Malkut Tov Le'olam Vayed. And then I would say, and then afterwards, I would give a translation in English so that people would know what it is that's being recited. Hear, O Israel, the Lord your God, the Lord is one. Blessed be his name forever and ever. So that it is that when people learn the prayers, they know what it is that they're reciting as well. And so I decided to start the Audio Siddur project. And we put out a sampler that has 3 prayers, has the Shema, has the blessing of the Torah, and the blessing over fruit whenever you're getting ready to eat fruit. And these are things that, operate in the same way of what I did with these children's Haftarah and all that stuff, putting it to music and all that stuff. It operates in the same way because it allows an adult to go and, say, okay, well, you know what? I want to learn, the blessing over the Torah. They want to know how to do the blessing before they start reading the Torah, how they start, if they have a home group and they're wanting to, teach from the Torah and all that stuff. This is the blessing that it is that we do over the Torah. They can go and, pull that up on their device, on their phone, put in their headphones and all that stuff, or, even play it on, any of the devices that they have. You guys know how streaming services work. And so that they can listen to these things over and over again so that they can learn these very things. And so, guys, there's links in the description here that will give you access to whatever streaming service it is that you use. I know it is definitely already up on Apple Music, and I know that it's definitely up on Spotify. Those are the 2 major ones that I think most people use. We also have, I don't know if it's on Pandora yet. I don't know if it's on Tidal yet. I don't know if it's on iHeartRadio yet. But if it's not, it will be on those platforms in a couple of days or so, at the most, probably about a week. But there's also, what if it is that you don't have a streaming service, that it is that you use for your music? Well, we're also putting this out absolutely free as well. And the sampler's out now, the 3-prayer sampler. If you go to our website, which is anijudaism.com, ANIJUDAISM.com, go over there and click on the music tab, and you'll be able to go and download those things or stream them right there absolutely for free. That's something that I always do with any sort of musical project that it is that I put out. We try and get it to you guys for free and the best audio quality possible and all that stuff. The files that are over there, I think they're 320 kilobytes per second, which is like CD quality. So, you can go over there and get those. But, ultimately, we have some of my ordination students that are also submitting tracks as well to the Audio Siddur project. In fact, I got Philip Reyes, who is doing the entire Shemona Esrei without the prayer of the heretics. And the reason being is because that was added in later. Shemona Esrei means 18. Okay. There's why is there 19 prayers? There was one that was added in later against the heretics, and the heretics in which it is that they're talking about are the believers in Yeshua. So, we got rid of that one in there, saying, you know what, that is not something that has been halakhically traditional in the Siddur. This was something that was added in much later. And it's talking about us in a negative way. So, we're not going to go and put that in there. But, we're planning on putting out several different volumes of these. Each of the volumes, I think DistroKid, with every single album that we put out that goes out to all the streaming services, I think it allows 24 tracks per album. Okay. So this is going to be in several different volumes when it is that we put these out. We'll probably do volume 1 first and then, do volume 2 maybe about a month later or something like that. But we want to go through the most read prayers in the Siddur. We're also going to go to prayers as well that deal with, your daily life, much like, the prayer that is in the 3-prayer sampler of the blessing over fruits before it is the eat fruit. We'll have the blessing over water. We'll have the blessing over wine and all these things. We will make sure that all of those things are incorporated for the reason of trying to help you guys to learn all of these prayers and so on and so forth. So this is a very big project. And I got to say, with my students, I have, we have some amazing people that are also helping out with this to make this come to fruition. And on half of them, I just have to play guitar. That's all I have to do, and that's really easy. When I get ready to go to bed at night, I'll usually grab either the acoustic or the 335, and I'll lay down in bed just kind of coming up with something off the top of my head. And if it's something that is pertinent, I'll go and film myself doing it so I remember what the heck it is that I'm doing. And then I'll go and lay down the track, and that's, for me, that's, something I come up with usually with something new on a nightly basis, nothing too intricate, nothing too crazy or anything like that, but something that really fits back there as accompaniment with, the prayers being read. So that is what the Audio Siddur project is. And we're very excited about how many people have already started downloading this on Apple Music. It just came out on Spotify this morning, so we don't know how many people have accessed it on Spotify. We'll probably know those numbers maybe at the end of the week or maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But on Apple Music, it has been doing very well. And apparently it's been something that people have really been looking for. So we're very excited about that. But also make a point to go to our website as well if it is that you do not have a streaming service that it is that you use. And you can go and download them in the music tab. Okay, and I got that streaming right down here if you need to know what the link is. ineedjudaism.com. So go over there, go to the drop-down menu, and click on music. And you can go and download those, save them to your mobile device and all that stuff. You can save it to your computer. All of that, feel free to go and make yourself a CD of it or any of those things. Pass it around to people. Because we want to help people to learn these prayers and to learn them accurately so that they're not intimidated when they go to Shachris or Minka or something of the sort, and also to feel confident throughout their day whenever it is that, it's like, oh, I'm getting ready to eat an apple. Got to say the prayer over the apple and all that stuff. This will help to give them confidence in doing so. And this has just been so far a really cool project. And it's something that I'm very excited about continually working on. All right. So that's the Audio Siddur project. That's the information on it. That's what I wanted to bring to you guys. And I want to wish all of you shalom bracha, peace and a blessing. Thank you so much for joining me here today. All right.